When people reach out to me and say they want to buy a waterfront home in Jacksonville, what they don't realize is that word waterfront can mean so many different things. They're completely different lifestyles depending on where you live. So I'm going to take you through the different types of waterfront property that you can get and the different lifestyles that go with them. So there are oceanfront properties, marsh view properties, intracoastal neighborhoods, neighborhoods on the river, and there's also neighborhoods on canals, man-made canals, and all of those provide a very different lifestyle, and it depends on what you want as to where we're going to look. So we will start with marshfront properties. So if you're wanting an expansive view, a lot of peace and quiet, then perhaps marshfront would be best for you. If you want to walk out onto your back porch and just see nature, an expansive sky, beautiful sunsets, bird life, then marsh view is what you're looking for. At high tide, the water seems expansive and alive. However, at low tide, you'll see more mud flats, grasses, and perhaps the creek beds. But even though there's such a contrast, living on the marsh, this is part of the appeal and the charm of this environment. If you want access to the water in a marshfront property, certain neighborhoods will allow a boardwalk and a dock, but bear in mind the boardwalks will be longer in order to get to the water. And the water is not going to be deep access. Very, very occasionally will you find a boat in a marshfront property. Typically, the water access will be on a kayak or a paddle board. So if that's the type of lifestyle that you're looking for, then marshfront is a good option. The next option would be riverfront or living on the intracoastal, where the waterway is a lot busier and you have better access to a boat. So typically you would have a dock with a boat lift where you can just drop your boat into the water and go off fishing, or there's lots of family activities that you can do on a boat. If you're living on the river, not just fishing, you can go tubing or skiing. The water on the river is expansive, so there's lots of places that you can do that. Riverfront homes tend to offer deeper, more consistent water, so it's more appealing to boaters who want to be able to get on and off the water at will. The currents on the river tend to be stronger, so that's something that you need to get used to when getting the boat on and off your lift, is navigating through those currents, because they can be pretty strong at times. Another thing that you need to consider is the traffic, and so you will have everything from a paddleboard to a large vessel passing by, and these can create wakes. So with that extra wake against your pilings and your dock, that's going to require extra maintenance just for that reason. So riverfront properties, the views are spectacular. You can have beautiful sunrises, spectacular sunsets, depending on your position on the river. And if you want a reliable access to the water, then riverfront is probably for you. Right, so next we'll talk about canal front properties. Canal front properties can be pretty misunderstood, but they are very, very practical. There are a number of neighborhoods that have been built around a series of man-made canals. So along these canals, you'll have your property with your dock and your boat lift. The canals are protected, so there's definitely more protection from wind. They do tend to be tidal, but you don't have the wake that you do have on the intracoastal or on a river. So it's much more protected and ideal for families. You do have to be concerned about the tides though, because canals are tidal. Getting your boat on and off a boat lift may become challenging at low tide. So it's a good idea to perhaps get one of those tidal apps, and I will make future videos about that. Get a tidal app so you know when it's high tide and when it's low tide, and that way you can arrange for getting your boat on and off the lift. A lot of the canals are navigable to the ocean as well, which is perfect because you're protected. You just drop your boat into the water, and within about 40 minutes, depending on your canal position, you can be on the Atlantic Ocean, have a day of deep sea fishing, and then come home back to the house with your fresh catch for dinner and put your boat on the lift right there and then. There's no trailering your boat, putting it in, having to launch it into the river. Then there's living on the ocean. Oceanfront properties are breathtaking, absolutely gorgeous. To be able to listen to the ocean all day long, to have those magnificent sunrises, and to watch the changes of the weather on the water, it's just spectacular. There's nothing like it. But living on the ocean also has its challenges with the salt air and the wind. It's going to affect the roof, it's going to affect your windows. Anything metal around the house is going to be corroded. So you just have to be prepared for constant maintenance and constant upkeep. Also be well aware of insurance costs. There's factors you have to take into consideration like dune protection or any coastal regulations that need to be taken into consideration. Oceanfront living is for those who just want to enjoy the raw beauty of the coast, although there is some commitment to living that close to the ocean. Each type of waterfront home offers something different, something special. They function differently though, so you have to just decide what you want out of the environment, and then we'll find the most ideal waterfront home for you in Jacksonville.